Ollie, I need your help. Well, sure, Wally. What do you need? Wally had asked Ollie to come down to the shop. I hadn't really specified why, but Wally usually had a good reason. Well, you see, there's, well, no other word for it. There's an evil wizard. Oh, that's, I'm sorry to hear that. That's, sounds kind of like more your thing, but how can I help? Well, I can't figure out how he's doing what he does. I know a lot of tricks, and he's not using any of them as far as I can tell. What's he doing? He's causing all types of chaos. Chaos, and I assume destruction. Do you know him from before or something? No, he's new to me. And he's up to no good. I can't quite put my finger on it. All right, well, where is he? He's downtown. Down at the Inner Harbor, doing evil magic just right in front of everybody. It's highly irregular. All right, well, let's go down and take a look. So I got him on the light rail, which is right by Wally's shop. So that's convenient. And they headed down. I got down there and Wally said, there he is. And then there's like a little amphitheater thing there. Was another wizard. Marv. His name is Marv. Marv the wizard. Doesn't roll off the tongue. Eh, he goes by Marv the Magnificent. Oh, I heard them shout. Oh, Marv the Magnificent. Yeah, it's all very conceited. I'm Marv the Magnificent, and I'm here to amaze. So behold. And just like that, the rose bushes began to grow. There were already rose bushes planted there, but they were out of season and they had been trimmed way back, which is something you often want to do to roses. But before everyone's eyes, the roses burst with leaves, and they grew new shoots and new stems, and all the way up to little rosebuds starting to form, all in a matter of 10 seconds. The crowd oohed and the crowd awed, and all I stared. I said, yet I have more that I can amaze, for I am Marv. I said, what's he gonna do? I don't know. He's got all these things. And here's the thing. It's not so much that I need to figure out the source of his magic power, but he's doing it. He doesn't have a wand. He doesn't have a magic mirror. He seems to be just thinking it, and that's unusual. It's got to be some kind of trick. Well, what do you do when you don't have a mirror or a oh well, I mean, or a wand? Yeah. For me, with a lot of training, I learned that I can do some tricks anyway, some spells, I should say, not tricks. Uh, with a wiggle of my nose. It's not the most original thing. You know, Mary Poppins, I think, does it too. But it works for me. And here, I'll show you what I mean. And while he held out a coin, and he wiggled his nose, and the coin levitated above Wally's hand. And he wiggled his nose again, and it fell to the ground with a clatter. I said, all right, I see. So you want to know what his trick is, what his hack is. Exactly. Because he's doing some weird stuff. Here, look now. Over by the, amphitheater area, Marv had produced a very large book. It looked like one of those old-timey family Bibles that people would have. A really big, giant thing. It was like the size of a pizza box, but, a book. And he'd set it on a table. It said, "And behold, a book that reads itself." And the pages began to turn. And they flipped and flipped and flipped, and Ollie watched and watched and watched. And the crowd was amazed at the book that would turn its own pages. And then, with no warning whatsoever, Marv hopped off the stage, slammed the book shut, and slipped it back into his box. He had a trunk there with some stuff in it. And I said, "But there are many magical things that Marv the Magnificent can do. But I've saved, well, maybe not the best for last, but a really good one for right now. Because now, behold, in your midst, a craven beast, a wild animal." And suddenly, there was. It just seemed like it just stood up from underneath one of the benches. There was a wildcat. Right there. It began to walk around the crowd. At first, people were scared. They didn't want to, jump out of the way and frighten the wildcat. It was a leopard or a cheetah. It was a little hard to tell. Maybe a tiger. But it didn't attack anybody. It didn't bother anybody. It just walked around and looked, well, very regal for one thing. It didn't look menacing. It was hard to put it's hard to put a bead on this strange wildcat that appeared. And now I will send my friend back to his home. Wally was watching intently, but then he looked, and Ollie was missing. Then he looked back over, and he saw Ollie sneaking up behind Marv. And as Marv prepared a flourish, said, "All right, my animal friend, I'll see you again soon." Ollie jumped up and grabbed onto Marv's ears. Said, "Ah, what is this? What's going on?" "Do your magic now, Marv." "What? I don't understand." "Show me that you can do your magic, even without your ears." What? What? Of course I can. It has nothing to do with, um, okay, I do need my ears. What's going on here?" Ollie let go. And with a wiggle of his ear, just one ear, the tiger, or leopard, or whatever it was, climbed back under a bench and seemed to disappear. Marv spun around. "You there, octopus person. Why are you interrupting my show?" Said, "You've been accused of dark magics, and I had to know how you were doing it." "Well, now you know." I wiggle my ear. "I'm sorry, did I don't think I ever hid that." He looked around the crowd and then he spotted Wally. "Oh, I see. I'm not the only wizard in town. Well, come, friend. You came so curious and brought an investigator?" Oh, I said, "I am a private eye. I'm Ollie the octopus." "Well, pleased to meet you. I am Marv, the Magnificent." We got that. "Well, I'll let you in on a little secret. I'm an entertainer. No dark magic here. But I can see that this show has come to an end. And so let's hope that your friend can keep the crowd entertained, because I and with a wave of his hand to the audience and a wiggle of his ears, faded. Must go! And he faded out, leaving a big grin behind his last, in a nod to Alice in Wonderland. I said, Wally, so what made you think he was doing dark magic? I guess it seems fine now that you look at it this way. Well, Wally, you've got a whole crowd of people who look a little mad that we interrupted their entertainment. Maybe you brought some tricks up your sleeve? I'll have to pull something out of my sleeve. But for you, my friend, I know I've got one thing. Ladies and gentlemen of the crowd, I am Wally the Wizard, and I probably shouldn't have hired my friend to interrupt your show. But perhaps this can save him from his troubles. And Ollie, with a flourish, produced a cup of coffee from his otherwise empty sleeve. Thank you, my friend. I shall take it from here. And that was the case of Ollie and the other wizard.